We have totally changed how we're doing one thing and then simplified something else. But in part of that, oh look, it's R212. Right? Thank you, R212. Don't sue me. We've got a lot of parts to install, and today we're installing absolutely none of them because we got to get the car ready.
Yeah, that's our goal today, is to really get this car ready so that we can start reassembling.
This is injecting into our corrosion pinholes, and then we're going to put the tape over it. We're going to fill all of that with our epoxy. And then once it hardens, we remove all of that. Allodyne turns it gold, and the level of gold depends on how long you leave it treated. Oh, also S10's charging.
Now that we've got the floors fully treated and protected against any future corrosion, it is now time to move on to the next step of V212 reassembly prep. We're applying the seam sealer. Now, seam sealer, if you don't know, is simply something meant to keep water from getting into places it's not meant to be. 212, as you remember, had a lot of problems with water getting where it shouldn't be. Now, when this originally was done, it was brushed on, very similar to some of the old Mopards we've done in the past. But Darren here is giving it a more modern touch, making sure we keep that water out.
All right, guys, we're jumping back into my backyard real quick to tell you about today's sponsor, Raycon, and their bone conduction headphones. Now, if you've seen these things around, they are amazing. Rather than having a traditional ear-mounted earbud or speaker, these use an amazing technology where they actually send the sound waves through your bone conduction. It's awesome. I'd tell you how much I'd love them, but somebody stole them from me. Magny's been busy wearing them whenever he's in the backyard protecting the chickens and keeping everything away from attacking them. One of the big standouts is the fact that you're getting the great sound that you love. Magny's listening to his bark casts, and you can hear everything around you because they're not covering that ear canal. So when that dangerous squirrel is on the other side of the fence, you know to run and bark at it. Now, when I am able to steal these back from Magny, I find them incredibly comfortable. I've got a big head and it's hard to find headphones to fit, and that's where I end up with earbuds most of the time. But not with the bone conducting headphones. They're incredibly comfortable for big heads like me. Also, I get 13 hours of battery life, and it doesn't matter if it's raining or I'm sweating with their IP68 weather rating. Perfect for the beach, perfect for the backyard when you're on guard duty. You're going to absolutely love them. I love every Raycon product I get. They have been amazing. My wife still has her original Raycon earbuds, the ones they re-released as classics. She's got her OGs. That's how much we really love the value you get out of Raycon. Now, a lot of times you hear value and think you're having to make a compromise. That is not the case with Raycon. You're getting high quality audio, high quality materials, and great battery life. And when you click that link and buy them, you support the channel by supporting the sponsors that support us. It's a whole lot of support, so you should do it. Just like Magny's out here supporting us right now. Right, buddy? Yeah. Head on over to buyraycon.com/questionablebcu to save 15%. Thanks, Raycon, for sponsoring. All right, so we've talked about our organization a lot. These are the little plugs for the floor. We removed 2 of them. We needed them now. Billy went to the spreadsheet, said it should be on the shelf A4 bag 614 in the EV1 warehouse. I drove to the front, grabbed these immediately. We've got to get these cleaned so we can get them re-glued in. It was originally this giant mess of epoxy on top that held it in. We're just gonna seam seal it and use our other stuff. Hey,
Jared, I found the last one. It was just floating around the shop, unfortunately.
yeah, EV1 warehouse. Well, it's perfect. Thank you for that. So
Oh, yeah. Well, that one took me about 10 minutes to find, so.
the longest part was driving up front and walking upstairs. So
Driving.
we don't walk up front. We got golf carts. So this is just simple wire wheel. We could do sandblast cabinet. Cody did a whole lot to get it ready for us to go, but hey, take a good smell of this, Billy. What does that remind you of?
Atlanta.
Day one, EV1. We won't do that to you, Greg. It's bad. And remember, wear your safety glasses or your safety squints. All right, Scott, one seat's worth. Probably not the dirtiest you've done, but
Yeah, you said that the had been washed, what, 3 times already?
yeah,
Yeah.
including like direct pressure washing, but oh, that's pretty dang vile. There's chunks in there.
Yeah.
All right, does that improve on the scale of disgusting?
It's much better. And I think the other, that's
The 212 smell is back.
the driver's seat's worse. That was the passenger seat. So,
Oh, there's 212. I haven't smelled that in a long time.
and the
Oh,
trunk carpet, I think, is going to be even worse. I can see visible dirt in it.
well, so it had the mold and stuff, but the driver's seat tomorrow's fun. Yeah, that's the one that had the weather.
Yeah, it's going to be,
Uh,
I can already tell by looking at it, it's going to be gross.
Oh, goodness. I'm going to walk away from the corner. Well, Scott's making a noise. It's late into the night, and we were talking about our plan for tomorrow, our game plan. We have totally changed how we're doing one thing and then simplified something else. But in part of that, oh, look, it's R212. Right? Thank you, R212. Don't sue me. But as we were discussing our recoating, we realized this was never painted. This is all urethane primer. But Darren, you made a discovery in tests.
So I was looking around at the condition, and this was the worst condition spot around the windshield where the aluminum had corroded between the windshield seal and the car. Well then, so I did a little bit of test sanding here with 180 grit, just seeing how it's gonna act. It came out great, but I found a little bump right there from a weld. So this is the second worst spot on Jared's side.
Where the urethane failed and the windshield lifted.
So I came over here, and
Man.
then this has a weld that's standing really tall. So the failure had to do with this weld not being smooth as much as it had to do with anything else. So
You've
we're
already
gonna-
knocked it down a whole lot too,
Yeah.
but
And we're gonna have to file that smooth on both sides before we go forward, which hopefully means that won't happen again, and maybe our roof won't collapse on it.
yeah, we won't have a roof sitting on it, and Scott's over there working with Julia, working on the seats. We've got to work on finding a magnesium safe cleaner.
Jared, feel this.
Those
Feel
seat,
this. Look at this.
remember the seat bottoms being made of magnesium? All the bumps.
All the way down.
Yeah, it is.
That's scary.
With the light, you can see how ripply it
Look
is.
at that.
Although I think ultimately at the end of the day, we knock some of the high points down. This will have a thick bead of urethane, but the top by spec was not a thick bead of urethane. But the good news is, again, we're not painting that. That is the urethane primer direct to aluminum. And then I think we addressed it, painting earlier. That is roughly how that color comes out. And we used one of these domes because it gives us all of the light reflections. Seeing that color on the dome, what does that do for you?
So cool. I was pointing out the building a little bit ago. I said, look at that green over there shining.
This looks shiny on camera, but in person it's really dull. That's really shiny. And 3 months from now, hopefully.
Hopefully it'll all be shiny.
Oh yeah. Not to say the EV1 was not a well-built car, but I think it's fair to call it a mass-produced prototype.
And hand-built. Very, very hand-built.
I will say this, it is a way higher build quality than Ferrari of the era. A way higher build quality than a Ferrari.
It's an amazing body. The whole body build is amazing. It's so cool.
As we begin the final prep work on all of the sanding and filing to get ready for black paint, the original space frame did have that black coating as the finish, so you didn't see raw aluminum. You saw a nice finished under paneling. So we're trying to bring back that nice black finish that goes underneath all of the panels, so when you look through, you don't see a distracting bright aluminum finish.
We've gone around all of these original spot welds. We haven't done these yet. See how sharp and jagged they are. We can leave it like it is, but when we're working on it, it keeps cutting us. There's one in the engine bay that actually had a little bit of skin still attached. So we're going around and knocking them down. They're going to be repainted. Some of this epoxy even has dangles under here that are incredibly sharp. So we're going the extra mile, just knocking all of that down so it's pleasant to work on. Hopefully it never has to be worked on at this level again, but it's worth it now.
Now with most of the rough prep work all done, it is time to start masking off. I start off by taping around the lip of the roof to give us a good smooth tape line. While I'm busy getting the rough taping done, Darren is making a couple test sprays to see how the paint reacts.
You're doing such a great job. Here's some presents. What's next? What do you want? I don't know.
Since we couldn't figure out exactly what type of paint was used, certain modern paints will react negatively when sprayed on top of it. So by making these discrete test sprays, we're finding out the paint we plan to use is reacting very badly.
Darren, it's acting like there's contaminant in the metal. It's the pocket. It's like there's something in the metal. Because it's laying perfectly nice here. Beautiful here. And you can see a bunch of little
I was
things.
getting all that here too.
Well, see here? Like it's...
Yeah. All right, you're all in.
Darren, what are you doing?
Taping.
How long have you been taping?
Too long.
And you're not even halfway done.
Taping.
So what we just said, what, 75% of all paint work is prep work. And it's extra hard when you're trying to mimic intentional overspray and sort of bad paint work. Not bad, rapid. All of that seam sealer went in nice last night. That is still drying. You saw those earlier.
Isn't getting any paint against it.
This one, no paint.
Yeah, this is.
Those are looking good. Our goal right now is as soon as possible to get all of the black going on to the car, the visible areas. Billy, you know, it'll be really fun and kind of a pain in the butt. Try to mimic.
With the tape?
Those are hand torn. So you take the thin roll and just tear off little bits. And then same for our ground straps.
Billy and I, we were just discussing that whenever you're taping for a paint job, even if it's just primer, it's best to get a brand new roll of tape.
Yeah.
And don't sit it on anything that's going to fill this whole surface with dust. And then now your tape edge suddenly has little specks of dust
in
your
it.
tape. And it's really easy to overlook or not realize that you just did that to yourself.
That's
So
why
brand
the
new
10
roll of
packs of rolls also are individually wrapped. Thank you. I've always wondered that because like when you buy a 10 pack of painter's tape,
tape. It's a
each
version
roll-
of- It's a version of paint job area sterile.
so that's going to go on. I'm about to go back up to the EV1 warehouse. Maybe I drag Billy Octane Eagles on his way home to the soccer game. But what is amazing, Darren can smell anything. If you're across an acre from him and have an offensive gas moment, Darren is going to find out where it came from. And he can smell the carpets now. Scott did an amazing job restoring these. There was some type of dye. This is under the driver's seat. It wasn't coming clean. So that shampooed the best it could. And also, you said, Billy, talking with the previous owner, that he used to take his dog around, right?
Yep.
And
A lot of dog hair in this.
Scott found on the passenger carpet, which is already under there, he pulled out a lot of dog hair. So I don't know how many dogs went for rides in EV1s. Maybe one of one.
No, come on. People who love the environment love animals.
Good point. But there's not a lot of room. Pure or Mag, you know what? You're going to have to give Magni a ride at some point.
Seat delete for your dog.
Well, my two dogs would take up the whole room and there's no room for anyone to drive. We'll have to set up a remote control.
That's fine.
Back to the warehouse and then S10's ready. We're doing something really fun with that later.
Yeah. Let's go update our inventory, see what else we have to clean.
Good point.
You know?
Because we're at the point like we're assembling now. We can't have parts gone for a long period of
I
time.
know. We'll figure that out.
Isn't that kind of cool though that like things are like going on to stay?
I was thinking about it earlier, like I'm never gonna see the car like this again, right?
That's gotta feel good though.
It's like every time we come, it changes a little bit, and
Yeah.
I mean, this time I'm just like, you know, it's like a shame we have to cover up all this beautiful aluminum with the plastic panels, but
It's kind of fun to be at the point
yeah.
that things are going on for good. Darren, are you excited to get a little bit of floor space back?
Yeah.
As
We'll
things
fill it with something else.
like my S10?
Yes.
But you get to drive that.
That's fine.
You've,
I'm excited.
you have wanted to drive an EV1 powered thing for a very long time, and now it can go down the road. So you're going for lunch in it. Your salmon, chicken Caesar salad. Oh no, salmon's Caesar salad.
lunch.
Salmon and chicken, all the protein.
How we doing over here, internet?
Go time for Darren. Billy was using the really good idea of filling all of the screw holes with earplugs. They work great. But I noticed 3D scanning dots happen to be the perfect size. So, Billy, I know you thought we were done with removing 3D scanning dots.
Well, I officially found the last dot yesterday.
I don't know. There's a whole lot more on the car. So, masked up. We're gonna do cardboard, and Darren is gonna do his best to mimic the overspray. But it's
Do you have cardboard? You need cardboard? You have it?
so.
I'm excited.
We got Greg who's gonna capture that moment, and we're just gonna stand back and not be a peanut gallery. Darren, I think you did too good.
It's okay.
I saw your arm as you were spraying the bottom, and you had to use the other one to stop it from filling that in. Like,
It was very hard not to naturally do what you would expect to do there, but trying to match what they had done. So you had to keep thinking the whole time.
but it came out looking amazing. But we're kind of bumped up a small roadblock because we ordered a ton of SEM black, trim black. I've used amazing success, but anytime we tried to put it on whatever was on that, well, even bare aluminum, it was bubbling and not reacting right. So you had some Eastwood chassis black, but 2.5 cans, not even 2.5 cans, about 2-ish cans, which wasn't quite enough. So one coat honestly is good, but you want to do a little more.
So we're gonna let this cure, because this Eastwood, it typically takes overnight to be able to even to touch into it.
And there's 2 or 3 little spots that you don't love. And one of like, there's a small run there, which realistically is fine. It's covered because, and you found one, or we found runs in the paint.
Yeah, there were original runs that I called out. It was not my runs. This one, painting down into these
Was hard.
areas here, and then coming back, got a small run there, got a really ghosty thing here. So one nice coat on here. I'm gonna come back once the paint cures. I'm gonna wet sand it lightly again, and then we'll have new paint here, and I'm gonna hit it again.
Now I'll admit, we should have removed that hardware. There, that hardware. How much fun are aligning door hinges?
We all decided as a group that we were more likely to mess something up trying to reinstall the hinges and realign the doors versus not painting that nut and bolt.
Yeah.
So we all said, we're gonna paint that nut and bolt.
But it's it's, you have to look and figure out how it was originally applied. Like when this was sprayed, how was this oversprayed to here so you can match that same motion? No one has a concourse books of how overspray is supposed to look. Like if we were doing an old Chevelle or Mopar, they're like, if you lift this carpet here, there should be 15 splats per inch of overspray, and that's correct. There's none of that book. We're writing the book right now of
Well, the nice thing was everything was still there, so we were just matching and ending and misting right where they did. So if you look real close, you can almost see the new and the old just drifting off right there. And all of this is underneath 2 layers of stuff.
Yeah,
so
you'll never see. I still love, you still can see the random claw hammer there coming through here. Like we didn't remove it. When they put this together, that line was off, so they were grabbing it with pliers and twisting it into shape. All the claw hammers, keep it
original. So, all right, well, we've yacked about paint. Watching paint dry is only so exciting.
Oh.
But hey, we've got more stuff for you to paint.
All right, let's do it.
We got to finish cleaning it. Now it was time to move on to some sandblasting. We've got some more parts to paint. First, we started with the sway bar, and then we moved on to the pedal box. It was great to get all the old paint, powder coat, and rust off. Also, I was really excited to get to use the sandblaster. I had heard Cody had just installed some upgrades, including a vibrator, which made the media flow perfectly. If you've ever used a sandblaster, you know how often you have to kick the bottom of the tank. This one worked perfect.
So most of the media comes right off of it. So we just take it over and prep sol it, do a prep, and then it's ready for paint. But if you want to go ahead, it's fun, it's slow. What do you think? Have you ever sandblasted before, Billy?
Never in a blaster this big. Like a little tiny thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Even our friend Greg jumped in to give sandblasting a try. Once we got everything wrapped up and finished, it was time for prep all and paint.
So this is our updated list for the next day and a half. We have fixed core support. Fixed core support. We were supposed to cross something off, Billy, and we're adding. That's how they always work. Scott has been working. It's not just seats, all interior. Freddie, great job on the artistic there. We don't need to reepoxy the floor. That actually came out good.
Is the light?
No,
We're good?
We're
No
good.
light. I shine the light.
We're good. So that's not needed. You're almost done with that. That's
Good,
on
man.
We also were filing. This will be end of the day, and this will be end of the day. This is tomorrow.
So that'll be tomorrow. Everything else we want today. Maybe add an interior, but you've earned that like 4 times over. Thank you, Octane Evil.
One wipe up plate in.
That took you 2 days because it was that disgusting.
Yeah. Well, but most of them are going to be
115-15925. Now, when it comes to a project as involved as 212, inventory tracking, spreadsheet making, and parts sourcing is crucial. What we're doing here is we found a master sheet, part sheet, in all of the manuals we have sourced over the years, showing every single bolt for the car.
All right, we got.
Now, if you remember, we had a lot of corrosion and we were planning zinc coating, but what we're doing here is going through the entire book, calling out part numbers and bolts that we may be ordering to put new rather than just recondition.
Well, that's not like all the paint and sound deadening and seam sealer and suspension on the car, but this is the reality of building something like this. I wish we could be like some of the other YouTube channels that in one episode take a destroyed exotic car and an hour later have a working car, but that's not how any of this really works, especially when it's something rare. So we have lofty ambitions. I don't think any of us are disappointed with how far along 212 is.
Yeah, it's amazing how far we are considering where this started. With GM's help, and a lot of other people have come to the aid of not only things to help make the car complete again, but also coming and volunteering to
help
fix a lot of stuff. Scott came and worked.
Was a rock star. So
2 days on the interior was amazing.
Yeah. But like the reality that we got little clips of us where we found out of all the repair manuals, suddenly this one had all the nuts and bolts, and we still want to zinc coat a lot of stuff, but we can replace a lot of stuff. And when we're using Billy's credit card, it's really easy to hit order. Sorry, Billy.
I just feel like, with every weekend that we come here and work on it, the bar is raised.
Yeah.
And I think, we're taking the time to look through everything and be methodical and thoughtful. And that's what the project really deserves.
Yeah. And we could just be the start and end, and a lot of people only want to see that. But like Darren said, Scott's come out, you've opened the doors. Billy and I are here. These are 14 plus hour days. Greg behind the camera, this is his first time, and he's been lockstep the whole time, following around and doing what's needed for capturing some of this insanity. So it wouldn't be fair to anyone who's here in the boring part of the build to just skip it and only give you the start and end. And if you want, come back 5, 6, 7, 12 episodes from now and see the end if that's who you are. You're gonna miss a whole lot of really cool stuff the whole time. But I don't want to end it like just on us being like, okay, here's homework. Darren, you've opened up your doors. Billy and I, you host us great. I brought my truck here for testing, but you've always like really wanted to drive one, not just around a parking lot. So it's dinner time. My truck is road legal and it has a full battery. So why don't you and Billy drive it to dinner, and you can find, like, you've had this dream of what this truck is, what an EV1 is. So we're gonna end with Darren driving my truck.
All right, let's do it.
And enjoying it. So
thank you.
Go.
Oh, you hear that?
What is it? Train?
Not much of the truck, yeah.
Quiet.
You can hear the power steering pump.
Please keep your hands and arms inside the window all the time. That's just like an off-road it.
Can we off-road it a little bit? Can we take it off-road a little bit?
Off-road?
No. No.
Just pretty good.
Oh.
That was great for a second. Oh, it's good too. You want to get some tape?
No, it's not. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh no, we're gonna get pulled over for these headlights. Are the headlights on? Yeah.
They're on. That's high beam.
Yeah. Okay. There's no, oh, here we go. Here we go.
We're not gonna get pulled over. That's fun though.
Says it goes up to 100.
I've done 70.
Is that all, huh?
Darren, what do you think about this highway capable S10?
It's interesting.
So we in Florida, we went a little fast and the battery life indicator came on.
Yeah, that's concerning. However, it's very nice to drive. It feels very stable, very powerful,
Yep.
and I love the sound.
Now the battery life indicator, most likely one of the modules dropped a little low. You know, maybe like 11 volts, something low where the computer's not happy. Now the total pack voltage is still cooking, doing good. And that module's not too low that the turtle indicator hasn't come on. So we're just gonna cruise back home.
We did miss our exit, but it was fun.
Yeah. And if we don't get home, then I guess we're gonna go and get the trailer.
I never really considered any of that. I love the giant fuel gauge that is the battery gauge.
Yeah.
But it's got the E to the F. We're at 80%. I have to do some numbers there.
So, you know, that would be 80% of the original capacity, which is about 54 amp hours, but the new capacity is almost double that.
Okay.
So
So
like-
was it on full when we left?
That's correct, yeah. All
I
the way
didn't look
full.
at
We
it.
did a
Okay.
complete leveling cycle, so it went all the way full. So as you have the load on it, right, it's gonna bring that down. If you were to let go right now, regen it should go up a little bit, you see? There you go. All right, so we're going home and we'll check in with you guys, make sure we get there.
Well, what do you think?
That was amazing. Super fun.
You got up to 72.
72!
Yeah, and right when we did that, the battery light came on.
Really?
My theory, we didn't have the Tech 2 plugged in, is that one of these batteries dropped down below like 11 volts, basically. And then as we were coming home, that's why we took the back
Yeah.
road, it dropped down even lower. And the service now indicator came on.
And then it went back out.
But then
Then
we
it-
regen down the hill, and it came back up. And the service now indicator went out.
I heard it.
The contactor's just turned off.
It worked. I fixed it. There, I fixed it.
However, I think we should plug in the Tech 2.
Force another balance cycle.
I want to look at it with the thermal camera too.
So here's the Tech 2. This was the GM diagnostic tool. So you can hit enter.
And we can't use bootlegs.
No, it needs to be a genuine one from, what is it? Vitronics. And it needs to have the software chip inside. It needs to be a certain version higher than. So for here, we'll just do a shortcut. You go to 1997 for this truck. It's a light duty truck. Search by powertrain,
And then up.
all the way down, or you go up, and there it is, electric motor, LN1. What we're really interested here is the data display and then the battery data display. So you have the BPCM battery information, which will give you all the battery voltages. You have the temperature ones, and then you have different data displays, 0 through 3, and they give you different characteristics of the battery. But let's just check out the voltage of everybody. Doing pretty good after that drive. Everyone's above 12 still.
8's just a smidge down, but
Yeah. So let's see the lowest. 1203 is on 8. And you know, once the load comes off of these lead acid batteries, like once we parked,
5.
yeah, it's fine.
So 12. So 8 and 5.
Yeah, so they came back up, but we should charge it. We should plug it.
Oh, obvious. Yeah.
All right. Driving though, was it everything you hoped?
It was very fun. I loved the weight. It felt real solid, and I especially liked the sound. The sound.
Oh, like from the outside, just the slight mechanical whir is perfect. So
It is like, this might not sound good, but it's like a big giant golf cart, and I love golf carts.
I mean, they kind of are though. Like,
Yeah, it has similar sound, but just like the Mac Daddy version of that sound.
and normally a lot
Super
more
fun.
usable than a golf cart, but you know.
Well, I decided that it wasn't golfing that I liked so much; it was riding golf carts. So then I was like, well, I should get a golf cart.
And you can save a lot more money just by buying golf carts than
And frustration.
than golfing. So
That's gonna do it. Again, it's different. We made a lot of progress on 212. Darren finally got to fill a little bit of his EV dreams. No self-driving on this Chevy though, but Jared reminding you guys to always make questionable choices, and it's never questionable to let your friend drive your cars. See you next time.